In the center of the galaxy, inside a giant metal space station, the Galactic Council was meeting. Leaders from many alien races sat in a large round hall. Their clothes were bright, their heads big, their skin in many colors: blue, green, red, and silver. All of them were powerful. All of them looked down on one small planet Earth. Chancellor Drek, a tall alien with 6 eyes, stood in front of a screen. "Next topic," he said, his voice loud and cold. "The humans from Planet 3, also known as Earth, should they join the Galactic Union?" Laughter filled the room. "Humans? Are you serious?" one alien leader shouted. "They can't even fly properly in space." Another said, shaking her forearms. A video began playing on the screen. It showed Earth's military, tanks, jets, and soldiers in simple armor. The aliens laughed again. "Look at those weapons, so small they still use bullets. Primitive." The laughter grew louder. Even the translator robot beeped awkwardly. No one took Earth seriously, but deep inside the moon of Jupiter, far from the Council, something was moving, back on Earth. In a hidden underground base, General Harris stood in front of a large digital map. He was a tall man, his face calm, his eyes sharp. "They're laughing at us," one young officer said, watching the alien broadcast. "Let them," General Harris replied. "They don't know what we've built. They don't know what we're planning." A red light blinked on the control panel. A message appeared. "Operation Silent Storm is ready." The general smiled for the first time in days. "Good," he said. "Let's give them a reason to stop laughing." In the Galactic Council chamber, the discussion continued. Ambassador Rin of the Shalak Empire stood up. "Let's be honest," he said. "Humans are weak. Their technology is old. Their minds are emotional. They fight among themselves. They are not ready." "Exactly," another leader agreed. "They still argue over food and money. Even their best soldiers couldn't defeat a single Drex warrior." But someone in the room disagreed. It was a small, quiet alien named Zara. She was from the Zelter race, known for science and deep thinking. Zara stood slowly. "I have studied humans," she said, "and I do not think we should underestimate them." The room went quiet for a second, then more laughter. Zara didn't smile. "They learn fast, they adapt quickly, and they never stop fighting, which is why they are dangerous," she added. "Not today, but soon." No one listened. That night, in a quiet part of the Council station, an old Drex commander sat. In the dark, he watched a different video, one not shown to the others. It was security footage from a pirate attack near Earth. A human ship had been surrounded by 5 alien warships. The humans should have surrendered, but instead, the video showed the human ship firing a strange pulse weapon. In 2 seconds, 3 alien ships shut down. In 4 seconds, the other 2 exploded. The Drex commander leaned forward. In the Council report, he whispered. He watched again, and again his hand shook. Why did they hide this? Back on Earth, General Harris met with top scientists and AI commanders. "We are not weak," he told them. "We have secrets. We have weapons they've never seen, but we must wait." "Why wait?" one AI asked. "We can strike now." "Because they think we're harmless," Harris replied. "And that's our greatest weapon." The room was silent. "We let them laugh," Harris said, "but when the time comes, we end the joke." Far away, on the edge of the galaxy, a group of young alien cadets watched Earth videos for fun. They laughed at the humans running obstacle courses, their clumsy spaceships, and their emotional speeches. "Look at them," one cadet said. "So soft." Another cadet zoomed in on a soldier's face. The human was covered in mud, tired, bleeding, but still moving forward. "Why doesn't he stop?" the cadet asked. The others didn't answer. They just stared. A few days later, Earth's application to the Galactic Union was officially rejected. A message was sent: Earth is not ready. Its people are too emotional. Its army is too weak. Its planet is too primitive. The reply from Earth was only 2 words: understood, preparing. No one in the Council knew what that meant, but they would find out soon inside. Inside, a cold silver room on the Council station. A young alien cadet named Kelter walked through the archives. He was small and curious, always asking questions. His instructors said he should not worry about humans, but something felt wrong. Kelter had heard rumor stories about human soldiers doing the impossible, surviving attacks, winning fights they should have lost. The council called them lies, but he wanted to know the truth. He opened a locked file marked Classified, Level 5. The title read, Earth Combat Trial. Deleted footage. He looked around. No one was watching. He pressed play. The screen showed a training arena on a council moon base. Bright lights, metal walls. In the center, a lone human soldier. Facing him were 10 alien warriors from different planets stall. Strong, fast, the best of their species. The signal began. The human didn't move at first. Then, in one smooth motion, he jumped, rolled, and struck. Within 30 seconds, all 10 warriors were on the ground. Some groaning, some unconscious. Kelter's mouth opened in shock. The human didn't just win, he dominated. Why was this hidden? Back in the council chamber, Ambassador Rin gave another speech. Humans are unstable, he said. They are violent, selfish, emotional. They have no place in our galaxy. Most leaders nodded. But again, Zara, the quiet scientist, raised her hand. Emotion does not mean weakness, she said. It can mean strength. Rin shook his head. They destroy their own planet. They poison their oceans. They fight over everything. And yet Zara replied softly, they survive, no matter what. The council ignored her. Humans don't belong here, Rin said. End of discussion. On the other side of the galaxy, a secret mission was starting. 3 alien spies from the Zarth Order landed near a human city. Their job, study humans closely, learn their behavior, find weaknesses. They disguised themselves as humans and blended in. What they saw confused them. Humans were strange. They smiled often, even when tired. They joked in danger. They helped strangers without reason. One spy wrote in his log, humans are not logical, but they are never broken. They feel fear but move forward anyway. It is unsettling. Inside, a human military base, 2 soldiers trained under the rain. Private Diaz was new. She looked up at her commander. Sir, why did they think we're weak? The commander, Captain Reed, laughed. Because we don't show them our sharpest teeth, Diaz frowned. Is that part of the plan? Reed nodded. We lose small battles, so they ignore us. But when the real war starts, they'll wish they never looked away. Diaz shivered. Not from the rain, but from his voice. Meanwhile, Kelter couldn't sleep. He kept watching the human combat video. He slowed it down, zoomed in. The human's eyes were calm, but his body moved like lightning. How? Kelter whispered. Then he found something strange. The human was wearing a small device on his neck, not alien-made, not council-approved. Ran a scan. The results shocked him. Unknown tech, possibly linked to neural speed enhancement. Impossible, he muttered. They're not advanced enough. He looked up, or maybe they're hiding more than we think. Back in the Zarth spy ship, one of the spies made a final report. Humans are not weak. They are simply waiting. We do not understand. Their strength is not in weapons. It is in the mind, in the heart, in something we can't measure. Before he could send the message, their ship's system blinked. Incoming transmission, Earth CGNL. The spies looked at each other. No, one should have known they were here. The message was short. We see you. Tell your leaders to be ready. The screen went black. The spies returned to the council and gave a false report. Humans are simple, weak, unprepared. But inside, they were afraid. On a dark night, in a deep mountain lab on Earth, engineers worked on a new weapon. A glowing orb hovered above the ground. Is it ready? General Harris asked. One scientist nodded. We tested it on an asteroid. It melted it in 4 seconds. Good, Harris said, but keep it quiet. We only need 1 moment to end this war. Let them keep thinking we're weak. He looked up at the stars. Let them keep laughing. Kelter finally shared the video with Zara. She watched it in silence, then said, We're making a big mistake. They won't listen, Kelter replied. They don't want the truth. Zara looked serious. Then we prepare in secret. Because when the humans rise, the galaxy will never be the same again. Far above Earth, in a secret satellite, a human AI activated a warning light. Stage 2, Observers detected the AI spoke one sentence: "Humanity is ready." A Drex battleship hovered above Mars. It was large and dark, shaped like a claw. Inside, Commander Gore stood in front of his crew. "Earth ignored the Council," Gore said. "They think they are equals. Today, we remind them of their place." His soldiers cheered. Their plan was simple: attack a small human outpost near Jupiter, make them kneel, show them fear. It would be quick, it would be easy, or so they thought. Outpost. Vega 7 was a quiet human station, floating above Jupiter's moon, Europa. It had only 14 soldiers, some engineers, and one AI system named Raven. Captain Mira Lane, the base commander, looked at the radar. "Unmarked ship approaching," Raven said. "Who?" she asked. "No signal, not friendly." Mira narrowed her eyes. "Sound the alert." The Drex ship sent a message. "This is a warning from the Drex Empire. You are weak. You will surrender. If you resist, you will be destroyed." Myra didn't respond. "Captain," one officer asked, "do we surrender?" Myra smiled coldly. "We're humans. We never surrender." On the Drex ship, Commander Gore laughed. They didn't reply. He said, "Arrogant insects, begin." "Attack," he ordered. Red lights blinked. Missiles launched. But something unexpected happened. Just before impact, the missiles stopped midair and turned back. They exploded against the Drex ship. "What? What just happened?" Gore shouted. "We don't know," one officer yelled. "It wasn't us." The missiles reversed. Inside Vega 7, Myra gave the order. "Activate Silent Storm." From deep below the outpost, a secret pod opened. A small drone flew out, no bigger than a football. It floated quietly, then vanished from radar on the Drex ship. Lights began to flicker. Weapons stopped working. Shields shut down. Then the ship started, shaking. Systems are failing. Someone screamed, "Where is the attack coming from?" No one knew. In just 60 seconds, the mighty Drex warship fell from orbit and crashed onto Europa's surface, all without a single human firing a visible shot. Back on Earth, General Harris received the report. He read the data. 1 minute, no losses. Total victory. He looked at the screen and said quietly, "They made the first mistake. Now they'll see what we can do." News of the battle spread fast across the galaxy. In the council chambers, there was silence. Then chaos. What happened? How did the humans win? They didn't even fire a weapon. Ambassador Rin slammed the table. "This is war." Zara sat quietly. She wasn't surprised. "They were never weak," she said. On Drex Prime, Commander Gore was dragged through the streets in shame. He tried to explain, but no one listened. He shouted, "They have technology we don't understand. They made our systems die. They didn't fight like Oos, they fought smarter." His words were ignored, but others were listening. A new fear was spreading. Maybe Earth wasn't behind. Maybe Earth was far ahead. Kelter received the leaked battle footage. He showed it to Zara. The video showed strange patterns, almost invisible. Energy pulses moving from the human base to the Drex ship. "What is that?" Kelter asked. Zara answered, "Something we don't have and don't understand." She looked worried. This was a warning shot. Inside a hidden council intelligence office, a top analyst played the footage 100 times. He paused the video at the moment the Drex ship died. "Not human weapons," he said, "human design. But something else, something alive. AI." His assistant asked. "Not just AI," the analyst whispered. "Something more." Meanwhile, in a secret human base on the dark side of the moon, 3 military leaders met. "We were exposed," one said. "They saw what we can do." General Harris replied, "Good, let them fear us now. But what if they strike harder next time?" the woman asked. Harris looked out the window. "Then we hit back harder." Across alien networks, the humans became a mystery. Whispers filled the dark markets and spy channels. They ended a warship in 1 minute. They have weapons you can't see. They fight without fighting. Some aliens still laughed. Others began to prepare for something. Worse. Back in the remains of the Drex ship, a rescue team found strange markings on the wall's burn patterns shaped like circles and lines. One scientist scanned them. "These aren't natural. They're a message. What does it say? Someone asked. The scientist turned pale. It says, try again, and we end everything. After the destruction of the Drex ship near Europa, the Galactic Council could no longer ignore Earth. Something was wrong. Something was very wrong. The humans weren't weak. They were unpredictable. A secret meeting was called on a hidden council research station. Only the top minds from different alien races were invited. The goal was simple: study the humans, understand them, find their weaknesses before it's too late. Zara, the quiet Zelter scientist, arrived first. She already had hundreds of human files. Next came Dr. Vorn, a cold, logic-driven AI specialist from the Zaran Empire. This will be easy, he said. Humans are wild. Their minds are unstable. They are driven by emotion, not logic. Zar said nothing. Inside the lab, giant screens showed Earth footage: wars, peace talks, space launches, sports, arguments, and laughter. Dr. Vorn pointed at a video of human protests. See, chaos, no unity. Zara pointed at the same video, double quotes, yes, but also courage. They fight for what they believe. Vorn frowned. That makes them weak. Or maybe Zara said, that makes them strong. In another labroom, a young alien named Sarek studied human soldiers' brain scans. Something didn't add up. Under extreme stress, most species freeze or shut down. But humans, their brain activity increased. Pain, fear, lost. These things didn't break them. They made them faster, sharper, and angrier. Sarek turned to his partner. They don't stop when they're scared. They get stronger. The partner looked worried. That's not normal. Sarek nodded slowly. That's human. Across the galaxy, hidden cameras watched Earth. Aliens recorded their music, their books, their movies. What confused them most? Why do humans tell stories about losing and still winning? One video showed a man alone in space, almost dying, surviving through science and hope. Another movie showed a soldier fighting to save others, even when he knew he would die. These stories don't make sense, one analyst said. Why glorify pain? Zara replied softly. Because pain doesn't stop them, it builds them. Back in the research center, Dr. Vorn tested a combat AI against a human simulation. The AI had perfect aim, no emotions, full control. But the simulation based on real human tactics kept winning. How? Vorn shouted. Zara explained, humans take risks. They do the unexpected. They don't follow rules. She paused the screen. In a fair fight, the AI wins, but humans don't fight fair. Meanwhile, on Earth, General Harris met with top leaders in a deep bunker under the Rocky Mountains. They're studying us. One officer said. Let them, Harris replied. They'll never understand us. What if they figure out our secrets? Someone asked. Harris looked into the camera. We are the secret. Back in the Council research station, Sarek made a final report. He showed footage of a human rescue mission. During a volcanic disaster, the humans ran toward the danger. They carried strangers, helped each other. The Council asked. Sarek replied, because they can't ignore pain. They feel everything but still choose to act. Zara added, their weakness is their strength. They care too much, and that makes them dangerous. Dr. Vorn refused to believe it. They are not superior, he said. But in secret, he began building new defenses. He was afraid, though he would never admit it. On a mining planet, an alien gang kidnapped a human science team. They thought it would be easy. But within hours, Earth Special Forces appeared. Silent, fast, deadly, the alien leader begged, please. We didn't know they were important. The human commander said only one thing to us. Every human is important. Then the screen went dark. The Council now had a new fear. Not Earth's weapons, not Earth's tech, but Earth's heart. Humans didn't fight for power or empire. They fought for each other in a dark room. Zara stood in front of the full Council. I have studied every part of their history, she said. Every war, every peace, every mistake, every miracle. And Rin asked. Zara looked at the stars. They have the power to destroy us. The room went silent. But, she added, they also have the power to save us. It depends on how we treat them. Some clapped dot, some whispered dots, some started preparing for war. Above Earth, a new human satellite turned on. Its signal spread. Across the galaxy, a simple message in every known language: we are watching, we are listening, and we are not alone anymore. The Galactic Council met again in the Grand Hall. For weeks, they had studied humans. For weeks, they had feared what they found. Now, they had to decide: do we threaten Earth again? Ambassador Rin stood up. They are dangerous, yes, but that only means one thing: we must control them now, before it's too late. Others nodded. Fear was growing. Zara the scientist looked at the stars through the glass wall. They sent us no attack, she said. Only a message. Exactly, Rin snapped. A threat without bullets. That's worse. In orbit above Earth, a strange event occurred. An alien spy ship went dark. It had been watching Earth silently for months, recording voices, scanning tech, observing humans. Then, in the middle of a transmission, static, nothing more, no signal, no noise, just gone. Inside a secret Earth base in the Arctic Circle. General Harris received the satellite feed. Another one? A soldier asked. Third this week, Harris replied. They think we don't see them. He turned to the technician. Send the message. 1 hour later, every major council ship and station received the same signal. No code, no introduction, just a calm human voice. We know you are watching. We know you don't understand us. But understand this: we will never kneel. We will never be controlled. And if you strike us again, there will be no second warning. This is not a threat. This is a fact. On Council Station Prime, everyone froze as the message played. Then the screens turned black, and a single line of text appeared. Humanity has spoken. Ambassador Rin smashed his fist on the table. They're bluffing. It's just words. Zara looked up. Words can be more dangerous than weapons when they come from a species that never gives up. Meanwhile, on a moon near the edge of human territory, a strange visitor arrived at an alien outpost. It was a small probe. No weapons, just a black box. The aliens took it inside. It opened on its own and projected holograms, videos of human history, world wars, disasters, diseases, lost, and still survival. Still survival, still unity. The final image showed Earth today. Powerful, rising. Then came a final line. We suffered. We adapted. We endured. Now we lead. Alien commanders from 3 different species gathered to review the footage. One whispered, "This is not a message." Another replied, "It's a warning." The third said nothing. He simply activated new shields. Back in the Council's intelligence division, a top analyst showed a new report. Humans have increased satellite coverage. New signal towers detected on Mars. Faster ships, stronger encryption, smarter weapons. And then came the final slide. Human AI has outpaced Council models. A quiet panic grew in the room. They were behind. Now they are ahead. General Harris met with his top advisors. They're listening, he said. They're nervous. One asked, should we strike first before they regroup? Harris shook his head. No, not yet. Let them decide who we really are. He stared at the large map of alien space. If they choose war, we will end it. Zara returned to her private lab. She played the warning message again. She listened to every word, not angry, not loud, just certain. This is not a threat. This is a fact. She closed her eyes and whispered, "We pushed them, and now they are awake." On a deep space mining station, a Drex officer ignored orders and launched a probe toward Earth's orbit. But just before it reached its target, it vanished, not exploded, erased, no trace, no signal, just gone. The Council gathered again. Zara stood up. You asked for weakness, she said. You found willpower. You asked for fear, she said. You found courage. You asked for silence, she said. You got a warning. They have not attacked us, but they can. And if they do, she looked around the room. We won't be ready. Ambassador Rin stood slowly. Then maybe it's time we make peace. Everyone turned. For once, he sounded unsure. He saw the truth. High above Earth, in a low-orbit station, a small group of human leaders watched the stars. One of them, a young commander, asked, "Do you think they believe us now?" General Harris didn't answer. Instead, he said, "Let them laugh again. Let them underestimate us." He looked into the darkness. Because when we move, we won't stop. The warning had been sent. The galaxy heard it. But instead of calming things down, it made everything worse now. The fear of humans began to grow in the darkest corners of space, and that fear became something else. They started calling humans monsters. On the shadow world of Kraxos, bounty hunters met in a hidden bar. They drank, they laughed, they shared stories. "Did you hear about Earth's strike force?" one asked Dot. Another chuckled. "Ghosts. They say no noise, no light. Just silence, then death." A third leaned in. "I heard they can survive vacuum." "That's not possible," someone said. The third smiled. "They're not people anymore. They're monsters." Laughter turned into silence, because deep down, they all wondered if it was true. In the Council's top security prison, a captured human soldier sat alone. His name was Elias Cade. He hadn't spoken in 12 days, not during the pain tests, not during the fear drills, not even during the neural scans. Zara was sent. To question him, she entered his cell with a datapad and calm voice. "You are not a prisoner," she said. "You're a visitor." Elias looked at her. Just once, then he said his first words, "Then send me home." Zara studied his scans later that night. She found something strange. Humans had emotional spikes during fear, yes, but Elias, his readings showed calm, even during torture. "Is this normal?" she asked. The medbot replied, "For him, yes." "Why?" "Because he has seen worse." On a quiet planet near the edges of human territory, a Drex patrol disappeared. A week later, a black box was recovered. The recording inside showed something terrifying. The squad had entered an abandoned Earth base. No lights, no sound, but on the walls were symbols drawn in Ashdod. One of them read, "You shouldn't have come." Then the screams began. Metal twisted, screens flickered. The last image showed a human figure walking toward the camera, face hidden by a helmet, eyes glowing red. The file ended. The Council tried to hide the video, but it leaked, and within days, the galaxy changed. Merchants closed routes near Earth spy stations. Went silent, fear turned into whispers. Whispers turned into legends. Humans don't just fight, they haunt. Zara returned to Elias. She asked him gently, "Why do they fear you?" He looked at her with tired eyes. "They don't fear us because of what we've done," he said. "They fear us because of what we're willing to do." A group of alien scientists met in secret. They studied human psychology, one of them explained. Humans imagine monsters as children. Then they grow up and become stronger than those monsters. Another asked, "So what are they now?" The answer came cold and clear. They are what happens when nightmares evolve. On the Moon Titan, a military base tested a new human weapon. It didn't fire bullets, it didn't make sound. It simply shut off all enemy systems and replaced every screen with 3 words, "We see you." That was all, but no one came close. Again, an alien leader named Lord Vire once said, "Fear keeps control." But when he tried to scare Earth, he vanished. His ship was found drifting. Engines cold, no crew, only a message carved into the metal. "You used fear. We mastered it." Zara met with Council High Command. "They see us as monsters." One general said, "No," Zara replied. "We see them that way. They are not monsters. They are something worse, something unstoppable." In the deepest part of space, a group of ancient alien beings, known as the Observers, watched Earth's progress. They had never interfered, but now they spoke for the first time in centuries. Humanity is no longer growing. It is becoming. General Harris received a message from deep space. The Council wanted peace. He read it, smiled, then simply replied, "Peace is possible, but never mistake it for weakness." In a school on Mars, a child asked her teacher, "Why do they call us monsters?" The teacher knelt and replied, "Because monsters are what you fear." "And what do we fear?" the child asked. The teacher smiled gently. Nothing anymore. For a short time, there was peace. No attacks, no attack dot, no spy ships, no threats. The Council stayed quiet, but peace didn't last. It never does because someone always crosses the line. A rogue faction from the Zarn Collective, the same race that once laughed at Earth, decided they couldn't wait anymore. They didn't care about warnings. They didn't care about fear. They wanted to test humanity. So they chose a soft target, a human colony on Vesper-9. Vesper-9 was peaceful farmers, scientists. Children, no army. No weapons, just life. Simple, happy, human life. That's why the SRN attacked. It started at night. No one saw the ships enter within minutes. The skies turned red, buildings burned, people screamed. A call was sent to Earth. Just 2 words: "We're under attack." The Zarn ships left as fast as they came. To them, it was a message: you are not safe. But they had no idea what they had done. They didn't just attack a colony. They crossed the line. General Harris stood in Earth's command bunker. The room was silent. A screen showed the colony's ashes, children, families gone. He didn't yell. He didn't speak. He just looked at his officers and said, "Send everything." Within hours, Earth's Space Force moved. No warnings, no words, just action. Fast, precise, final. On the Zarn homeworld, alarms rang by the time they saw the ships. It was already too late. Earth didn't aim for cities. They aimed for command, government, weapons, power plants. Every place that gave the Zarn strength was turned to dust. And then the humans did something worse. They left. They didn't conquer. They didn't take prisoners. They just sent one message: we don't start wars, but we end them. The council watched in shock. One species, just one, had crushed an entire planet's leadership in one night. With no losses, Ambassador Rin stood in silence. Zara whispered, "They warned us. We didn't listen." A Zarn survivor tried to send a message to Earth. He begged for peace. The reply came not from Earth, but from a Mars outpost. The voice said, "We warned you. You touched what should have been left alone. And now, we remember." The galaxy trembled. Other races stopped their spy missions, trade routes. To Earth reopened, but no one dared speak without permission. Fear was no longer a tool humans faced. It became the tool they held. Zara was invited to Earth, not as a spy, not as a threat, but as a guest. She walked the green fields of Earth. She saw cities rebuilt. She saw people laughing even after pain. She finally understood. They don't fight because they hate, she told her team later. They fight because they love what they protect. In a quiet corner of Earth, a mother stood at a graveyard on Vesper-9. She held a small flower. Her son had died in the attack, but beside her stood a soldier. He placed his hand on her shoulder and said, "They will never forget your son's name. Neither will we." At council headquarters, silence filled the chambers. One elder finally spoke. "They are not monsters." "No," Zara said, "they're something else. Something we were too blind to see. They are survivors. And we just gave them a reason to fight forever." On the outer edge of Earth space, a new station was built. It was called Remembrance. Not a weapon, not a base, a beacon. It broadcasts a single signal to the galaxy. Every hour, you are welcome in peace. You are warned in war. General Harris stood on the deck of Earth's command ship, watching the stars. Someone asked, "What now?" He looked forward. "Now, we wait. Because if someone else crosses the line, they won't get a second chance." The galaxy had changed. The species once called weak was now the most feared. The species once mocked had destroyed a mighty empire. And now, the Galactic Council had no choice. They called for a special meeting. One purpose, one vote. Should Earth take the high seat? The high seat was the most powerful position in the galaxy. For thousands of years, only the species had held it, but now, the galaxy was silent, waiting for Earth's answer. The chamber was full. Over 300 alien races gathered. Many had once laughed at Earth. Others had feared it now. All watched as the doors opened and General Harris walked in. He wore no armor, no weapon, just a black Earth uniform and calm eyes. Behind him walked Sarah, the scientist who had once studied humans in secret. Now she stood with them. The Speaker of the Council stood up. Earth has shown strength. Earth has shown mercy. And Earth has changed the balance of the stars. He pointed to the great throne in the center. All that remains is your answer. General Harris stepped forward. He looked around the room slowly. Then he said, "You feared us. You attacked us. You called us monsters." He paused. "But we never asked for power. We never wanted this throne. We only wanted respect." He looked at the throne, then turned away. "I decline." Gasps filled the chamber. Even Zara looked shocked. You decline, the speaker asked. Harris nodded. We didn't rise to rule. We rose to protect. If we take the throne, others will fear us more. That is not the world we want. But Harris wasn't finished. He walked to the side and pointed to the empty circle in the center of the room. This throne, the system is broken. It was built on fear. Fear kept the old powers in charge, but fear also created war. He looked around again. It's time for something new. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small object. It was a tiny white stone, simple, unmarked. He placed it in the center. This is a memory stone, he said. From Vespertine, from the colony you let burn. No throne can erase that. No seat can fix what's broken. But maybe we can build something better. The speaker stepped down. What do you suggest? Harris replied. A new council, not ruled by fear, but by unity. No high seat, no single voice, equal chairs, equal votes, equal peace. Some laughed, others whispered. But then slowly one alien leader stood, a Drex admiral. He had lost soldiers to Earth, but he spoke clearly. I vote yes. Then a second stood a traitor from the Nox Alliance. I vote yes, then more. One by one, the galaxy stood. They voted for peace. They voted for change. They voted with Earth later. That night, Zara stood beside Harris at Earth's embassy station. She looked at him and said, You could have taken the throne. He smiled and become what they feared. She nodded slowly. You gave up power. He looked out the window, toward the stars. No, he said, I gave us all a future. On Earth, people celebrated, not because they ruled the galaxy, but because they didn't have to. They had shown what power really meant. Control, no respect, yes, fear. Never again, in a small classroom on Mars, the same little girl raised her hand. Teacher, are we monsters? The teacher smiled. No, child, we were humans. We are humans. And today, the galaxy saw what that really means. At the edge of the Milky Way, an old probe drifted quietly. Its message kept playing, over and over, for anyone to hear. We are from Earth, we come in peace. But never mistake that for weakness.